Hey everyone, I'm Matt from Chaparral Motorsports, and these are the all-new Sidi Crossfire 3 SR boots. Let's have a look. So here we have the third generation of the Crossfire boot from Sidi. These have been completely redesigned from the predecessor, the Crossfire 2. So that's what we're going to do with this video. We're going to go through all of the key differences between the two to give you the benefits of this new and improved boot. First, let's start this off with the basics, your colors and sizes. So you have 5 different colors to choose from. Here with me are the blue and flow red, but it's very much a flow orange in my opinion. So if you're looking to match this up with your existing gear or your current gear, just know that it's definitely more of that orangey tone versus that red. It's very cool though. You have the mixture or combination with the royal blue along with some white highlights. This is a very good looking pair of boots. And then you have your standard colors available as well, like black and white. Now your size run is 42 through 47 European, and then you can check the product page on our website to see the corresponding American size or US sizing. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and take a look at the most noticeable change, and that is the lower portion of the boot. So what we have here, you'll notice that it looks like it's a much taller, thicker sole. Well, this is the new sole boat, as they're calling it. So pretty much what your foot does is sit deeper into the sole so it really cradles your foot. It's also going to sit back in this newly designed heel cup area to really be all-encompassing and hold that foot in place inside the boot to give you more protection because it's going to resist twisting. Now it's also going to give you more field control through the bottom portion of the boot as well. It's very comfortable, and that's the first thing that I noticed. It really does hold that foot in there very nicely. Now the other big change is on the bottom side of the sole. This is the new replacement system. Before you would have multiple screws all throughout the sole, so the entire thing would pop off. Now the high wear area is only removable. So you have only 4 screws that are quarter turn with a flathead. You can do it very, very quick. You can do it even trackside or even into your house. You never have to send the boots off to get repaired. You can just slap a new one on. And the way it clicks in is very interesting as well. It actually has this tongue and groove system. So you pop it in and then secure it with the 4 screws, and then the toe and the heel are permanent with the actual structure of the boot. Now, all of this is in relation to something. So having that the sole is a little bit thicker but your foot actually sits in lower, you still have a lot of feel through the tops of the boot as far as your controls go. And now that the lower portion of the boot is all one piece, it's actually even more rigid to give you more protection. And they've also redesigned the heel cup area with a new anti-shock material. It's going to work even better to give you more protection and of course to keep that heel in place so that your foot doesn't move around inside. Does that all make sense?
I think so.
Now let's take a look at the top of the toe box. They've actually added even more plastic here so that you're going to get more impact resistance and abrasion resistance without losing any of the mobility. And of course everything is double reinforced, recess stitched, and the reason why they do the recess stitching is so that objects don't actually pull the fabric or threads, and that's just going to start to come loose over time. So that's just going to help negate that. Now let's talk about the new stop system. This is what they call a hard stop. So what you have here is a limited track on the ankle. So it really will stop and prevent hyperextension and hyperflexion of the foot and ankle. So you can see here that you have this screw, which everything on this boot is replaceable if it has a screw. So that is probably about 90% of this boot. So you can really keep these things for a long time, but refreshing them over the years as they really get some wear and tear on them. You're also going to have some other stops here along the back side of the boot in the Achilles area. So you're going to have a stop here that butts up to this heel cup there. You can see how it's just going to stop right there. Now moving on to the Malleolus Protection. This is all new as well, and of course because it does have screws on it, which means that you can replace these when they happen to wear down over time. So this is going to add even more protection on your ankles, and you have this new open cell foam on the inside of the boot. It's very comfortable, but I'm just going to give you my experience. When I first put this boot on for the very first time, I did think that it was uncomfortable at first, but walking around in the boot for about 5 minutes or so, it really becomes part of your foot and ankle, which is truly amazing, and it's super comfortable. These boots are lightweight and they flex and move very freely right out of the box with 0 break-in time. So that was what I was most impressed with. Now let's focus to the top of the Gator. This has a new material to protect the rider and the boot's material against the heat from the motorcycle, so you won't have any fringing going on here. It's just going to add some more protection in that sense. Now the Gator's actually been revised as well. You have now a bigger circumference. It's also a little taller, so it's going to give you more coverage. It's going to allow a tighter seal against the rider's leg and calf area. So whether your legs are larger or your calves are larger, or you're using a larger knee brace, you're going to get that great seal with 2 points of adjustment with the Velcro. Very nice feature there from Sidi. And then the other side just features a TPR pull tab to make it easier, especially with those gloves on. Inside the boot, you also have some new material. You have the standard Camber liner down at the bottom. This is going to be a great moisture wicking fabric. It's also going to be antibacterial. It's going to resist mold buildup. And then you have the Teflon mesh above that on the inside. Now the venting on this boot has been increased. It doesn't directly vent to the liner, but it's going to allow air to pass through the outer shell. And this fabric, being that it is breathable, it's just going to really help to keep the rider's foot a little bit more comfortable and let that hot air and sweat vapors escape the boot. On the inside, you have your traditional adjustable shin plate. Shin plate's been all redesigned as well as far as the ergonomics go and the actual fitment. It's going to fit nicer against the shin, but you do have the same adjustment points. You have 2 points of adjustment, or 2 areas rather. In the back, also in the front here, this is going to allow you to increase the diameter of the shin plate. So if you do have knee braces or those calves are a little larger, you can adjust that so you can get better fitment out of the boot. You still have the same famous straps that Sidi's known for. These are a set it, forget it strap, so you have all the memory. Very easy to adjust. You want to just get them out of the groove and either pull out or push in and then snap them back in place. Very nice camber walking buckles here. This is a very easy system to use, and you really get a positive latch out of those as well. And then if we just talk about some other features in general about the boot that I do like, again, just revisiting the fact that everything can be replaced that has a screw on it. So a lot of this boot can be replaced, which is always a great thing. And the unique thing about these buckles here are that they're held together with a single screw, so you can also adjust the angle of them to adapt to many different riders' preference. You do have these deflectors that protect the boot's buckles from any objects that could wipe them off the boot, so that's just a precautionary feature there. And that is pretty much it. Everything on this boot simply works great. You have a lot of performance added into this as well as protection. So for more information on the Sidi Crossfire 3 SR boots, you can visit us on our site, shapmoto.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to us or leave us any questions that you may have. Thanks so much for watching again. I'm Matt. We'll see you next time.